Hi guys, welcome to day 4 of 25 days of Bookmas with your girl Chelsea from Pages of Chelsea. I'm proud of myself. 4 days of content, getting out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and I'm just gonna keep doing it because 1, it's a good habit for me to continue to make content, and 2, it builds my portfolio. So let's get started, shall we? I have the handy dandy bag. And let's see. Oh, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Okay, this should be a good review. Okay. Alrighty, let's discuss I don't know how these glasses stay crooked, but I guess that's what happens. Anyway, let's discuss A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. But before we do that, let's do a nail check. This is all I have left. This is it. And it just gets worse and worse. This is, as I said, day 4, December 4th of 25 Days of Bookmas. Our next one, I categorize this as like a mystery, suspense. That's what I categorize this as. So I want to start by saying that I consider this a YA novel. 1, because there's not explicit spice. There are some insinuated situations, some things that would make this inappropriate for like 14 and younger, 15 maybe, 16 and up. I would recommend. That's just me, because they're aware that some things happen. I did give this book 4.5 stars because the main character did get on my nerves. Maybe because I am a 30-something-year-old woman and she was a 17-year-old girl. We're in 2 different places of our lives, and sometimes you just don't have the capacity to deal with a teenager. Just saying. But other than that, I really did enjoy this book. I do want to start off by saying this book has been turned into a Netflix series, and I will go into that before we get through this episode. So let's go ahead and get started. This book is based off of Pippa, who is a 17-year-old girl on the East Coast, I believe Connecticut. And basically a girl goes missing about 7 years prior. And the guy that is accused of being involved in her status being as listed as missing, she doesn't believe that he did it. And unfortunately, he is no longer around or able to tell his side of the story because something tragic happened to him. So she's doing a project. I don't really remember the reason for the project, but somehow she decides that this is going to be her project, that she's going to dive into why this girl went missing. Is she really missing? Is she no longer on Earth? Not scientifically, but I can only say so much on the internet. So she goes into all of that. She interviews the accused friends. She lets the brother know that she's going to be opening up some wounds for him and his family, because they lost a son, but his son is also accused of doing nefarious things to this young lady to cause her missing. So she interviews the brother first, Ravi, and they do start having a romance. And it's kind of like that kind of romance where you are around someone all the time, so you kind of like end up together. You know what I mean? It doesn't start off romantic because let me play this. She's 17. He's got to be like 19 or 20, and I know what you're thinking. She's a minor. I understand that, but that ain't my kid. That's not my kid. But like I said, there's no scenes between them. They keep it very PG throughout the series. I don't think they kiss till like book 3, maybe at the end of 2. So, you know, they keep it very PG, which I'm fine. But the whole situation of them together did kind of rub my feathers the wrong way. Also, so yeah, she interviews his brother's friends, old teachers, the missing girls' friends, and she happens to be best friend with the missing girl's little sister. So she's kind of still in that circle. So she's talking to her best friend, her best friend's parents, which they have life consequences due to their daughter being missing. So she kind of starts pulling at threads, and people don't like when children, nosy teenagers, pull on threads, because as we know, what is the Scooby-Doo saying? I could have got away with it if it wasn't for you darn kids. Like, people, the more thread she pulls, the more secrets open up. Because it's supposed to be like a very tiny town. Not tiny, but like enough that if you start pulling threads, that thread connected to this person, that thread is connected to this person, that thread is that, like, it starts interweaving and causing trouble. So she starts getting like death threats and you better stop digging threats, and she starts, you know, uncovering other things that happened around the time that wasn't reported. She starts questioning, can she trust the police? She starts asking, like, thinking to herself, can I trust Ravi? Did I have this young man who was accused of these things mistaken? She starts questioning her friend. She starts questioning, actually, no, I got that wrong. She's not best friends with the missing girl. I apologize. Her best friend's sister, so older sister, was in the same group as the accused and the missing girl. Like, they were in the same circle. Sorry about that. Had to get it straight. I read this book in February, pulling all this off the dome. So yeah, so she starts pulling at strings. Things start happening. Her parents start realizing, like, that you may be in over your head. But Pip was the kind of chick, like, once she gets her claws into something, gets her teeth into something, she's not going to stop. And honestly, that's what kind of bothered me about her. Like, she just, it was giving very much, how do I say this nicely? It was giving very much, her parents tell her what to do, but she don't really do it. Her parents tell her what to do. Like, she kind of does whatever she wants to do as long as she's in the house by a certain time. Pip was one of those girls who got straight A's. She don't go to parties. She don't go to football games. She don't sneak out. She don't do none of this stuff because, one, she is just a good kid. Like, she's focused on her future, getting into a certain school, yada, yada, yada. But then she gets down this rabbit hole and she can't seem to dig herself out. But the mystery was A1. It kept me intrigued. I kind of wanted to know what happened to old girl. Where is she? Is she dead? Because at one point, I didn't think she was dead. At one point, I thought she was dead. At one point, I thought she wasn't missing. I thought she just ran away. At one point, I thought she was in town, but just hiding. Like, it was all over the place. Then at one point, I also thought that the accused and the missing ran off together. You're all over the place that she's pulling because you're trying to figure out who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth, who's omitting things from their story. Why do people have alternative motive? Like, you're literally unpiling this as she is, and you hear her inner thoughts. So the mystery was A1. I would give the mystery 5 stars. It did a great job of keeping me on my toes, keeping me interested, and the twist at the end was not expecting that. Now, of course, you do have your characters that get on your nerves. Besides her is just her being that 17-year-old headstrong girl that by the end of the series and the book, I was like, child, I'm tired. I'm tired, so I know you're tired because you're the main character, and I'm just like following along with the narration, so I know you're tired. But you have some other people that you're just like, could you just fall off the page? I would be okay if I never heard from you again. So that was good. So the mystery was good. The twists and turns were good. The scene, like how they set the stage was good. The relationships kind of gave, I'm not melanated and I live in the Northeast. I'm just saying. I am just saying. And I was like, there's no way my mama would have let me get through that. It's no way that my friend's mother would let them get as far as she got. My Hispanic friends, my white friends, and black friends. But we live in Texas, so it's just different. So yeah. But it was good. So if you're looking for a good non-spice whodunit, why unraveling of a story, it's so good. Okay. I would recommend every time. Now, with that being said though, Netflix did drop, well, I'm sorry, BBC created a series based off of the first book. And it's important why I say BBC. So BBC did it first, the UK got it first, Europe, they got it first, and then it came to America on Netflix. And let me just say, me and my girlfriends who read it, we were not fans of the TV show. We watched it together, and we were very confused by a number of things. One, the visual series took place in the UK. So when you read a book and you're picturing the houses, the streets, the bookstore, the school, the parties, and your book paints a picture a certain way, and then you look at it and it's nowhere close, that was kind of off-putting to us. And then the fact, I was like, okay, I guess. And then, which there's an explanation for that, because the original book, not first print, but like the original release, this book is actually written by a British person who set the book in the UK. And then they adapted it to feature American style homes, American streets, like it's set up like America. And I'm a very visual person. I have a great imagination. So when I'm reading a descriptive scene and you tell me all the houses have this and they look like this, and the street and the town is not a city, but it's not itty bitty, I honestly, you know what I pictured it as? If you've ever seen, is it P.S. I Love You? With the little Asian girl from Netflix. I'm gonna have to look this up because it's bothering me. Oh no, To All the Boys I Love. That. I was picturing a town that was like that size, but like had that aesthetic. Big trees. Everybody kind of knew everybody. Like somebody knew somebody. You know what I mean? There was a diner and a bookstore, and the school was big, but it wasn't that big. That kind of thing. Because everybody knew about the missing girl. And so when you watch the Netflix series and the scenery just doesn't match up to what you have in your head, which is not a problem when it comes to characters, but when you paint a scene and then I watch something and I expect to see semblances of the scene, it just didn't work for us. The second issue we had with the Netflix series was the pace of the show. We were sitting down watching it on TV, and we all have decent memories. Like, we all love the series, and we're like, man, they're already at this part, but didn't she interview such and such before she got here? And where is da 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 da? And then and we were like, wait, this is still episode 1? Why are we so, like, the pacing was very off. It felt very rushed, which, don't be like Chelsea. It's a TV show. They can't put everything. I'm not talking about details. I'm talking about sequences of events. the reason the writer wrote the sequence of events is so that we could get to a certain place. So I think we made it to like episode 3, and I was like, y'all, I can't. I do not understand what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I watch a lot of British TV, okay? Accents weren't the problem. The actors weren't a problem. It was the storytelling as a whole. Honestly, I don't think I would have liked it if I hadn't read the books, just because the pacing was just weird to me, which really sucked, because we were like, okay, it's set in Britain or UK, we'll get over it. But the pacing really, where we were like, yeah, no. So hopefully we get a US version, and you know, since we are the land of Hollywood, that we do it correctly, because the story was really good, really intriguing. It kept you into it. We were really excited when we found out it was going to be a TV show, because we could just see like you could really stretch this out and really like dive into some things a little more if you had time to like give each episode. But the BBC, it just felt rushed, and I hate to say that because I love entertainment, TVs, movies, music, like books, plays. I love entertainment. But I would recommend reading the book. It's a great buddy book, because you get to talk about, did you get to that part? What you think? You think they lying? Like, it's a great buddy book. It's a great book club book. Like I said, if you're trying to take a break from spice, or you're trying to look for something for a younger kid, or you don't into spice but you like a good mystery, this is the series for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, because I'm supposed to keep these short and sweet. So I will see you tomorrow on day 5 on December 5th. Once again, I am your girl Chelsea. This is Pages of Chelsea, and I hope you enjoy your holidays. Bye.